artists, it is winter tree time. We're going to start off by making sure that our paper is vertical. That is the up and down way. And we are going to start by drawing one tall triangle in the middle-ish area of your paper. Notice that I'm leaving some room above it and plenty of room below it as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another triangle to the right of it. Now this time I want to make sure that this triangle right here is going to overlap that first triangle. Now you can make your triangle all the way on the paper if you want, not go off the side, or you can make it go off the side of the paper just like that. Either way is absolutely fine. Now I'm going to go right over here and I'm going to draw one more little tall triangle. And I might have that one going off the page just a little bit. It's your choice, you don't have to. Now down here at the bottom of the paper, I'm going to give it a nice little wavy line all the way to the edge of the paper. Now I'm going to take my pencil at the top of each little triangle and I'm going to do a straightish line going all the way down, down, down and stopping at that wavy line. And I'm going to do that to all three of my triangles. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add some little branches in my little triangle trees. So just little slightly curved lines going up and up and up in the center of those little triangles. Whoop. Now pay close attention to this. I am going to divide my little background into three sections. I'm going to start by doing a vertical line. That vertical line is going to start at the top of the page and go down, 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 down. Now I'm going to hop over my tree right here, pick up my pencil, and then continue that line going all the way down to that little wavy line right there. Now I'm going to do the same thing with one more line, more on the rightish side of my paper, and do a vertical line going down, 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 down. I'm going to pick up that pencil where it hits the tree and then continue that line going all the way down to that little wavy line right there. Easy peasy. Now if you have drawn yours really nicely, really big, and you are ready to make this your final, then you can go ahead and write your name on the back. So you're going to write your first name, last name, and your homeroom teacher's name as well. Homeroom teacher's name. Now, if you are not happy with what you've drawn, or you feel like you've maybe, oh man, I drew that a little bit small, you could always turn it over to the back and redraw on the back. You've got plenty of time to do so. Next step is we are going to go over all of our pencil lines with a crayon. I want you to choose a nice cool color for this step. So I'm going with the blue right here, and I am pressing down really hard, going over all of those pencil lines. Easy peasy. This is actually kind of more of a blurple type color. Now you could do like a gray or a black or a brown or a blue, feels kind of icy. You could even do kind of a darker color green. I wouldn't do the lighter color green because you can see the pencil lines through that lighter color green. So a nice, cool, strong color. Oops, I accidentally broke that crayon. Sometimes that happens, that's okay. Now for the painting portion, starting with my paintbrush and a simple little cup of water and using our little Temper Cake paints again for this project. You want to use plenty of water, and I know it's hard to see my paintbrush going into that blue paint, but I'm dipping my paintbrush in that water over and over and over and turning a nice gentle circle into that blue paint. Oops, I accidentally got a ton of little dots right there. Don't worry about that. Actually, I think that'll end up turning into a nice happy accident. Oops, again. So I'm turning that little circle Getting plenty of water on my paintbrush, and I'm going to go ahead and paint that middle tree with the blue paint. I'm letting it glide over, and since I have a lot of paint on my paintbrush and a lot of pigment, which is color, that little crayon is pushing that paint right off, saying, "Get off of me," and that crayon resist is working just beautifully. Now I'm going to go ahead and go down to my ground and paint my ground with the blue. My last step with the blue right now is the left background, the left side back here. I'm going to paint that with that blue paint as well. Again, tippy tip of that paintbrush, and I'm letting that color just glide on there. Okay, my next step, I am going to start with that purple color. And this is kind of a nice light, kind of pinkyish purple. Turning that circle with my paintbrush, dipping it in the water all the time, getting it nice and juicy. I'm going to paint the right background with that purple. While I still have that purple going, I'm going to hop over here and I'm going to paint that left tree with the purple. Now again, I'm going to be very, very careful to kind of stay in that triangle and not let that purple run into the background. So if you get that purple into that blue background, since it's wet, the two colors will kind of run together. So you want to make sure that doesn't happen. Now one of my favorite parts, we've got this white Timber Cake paint, and I have this now really dirty water. It's dirty because it's got all that blue and purple in there. We're actually going to use the fact that this water is nice and dirty and stained and get started on our white paint. So I'm dipping my paintbrush in that water several times and turning a circle. Now normally we're very, very careful not to get any other colors, especially on our white paint. Today it is a-okay. Start with my right tree painting. Now I know it doesn't look much on the screen, but you can see when you're painting it's a very, very light tint. Remember, tint is a color that has white mixed in it. So it's kind of a bluish purple or blurple type tint with lots of white mixed in there, and it's so beautiful and icy looking. And now I'm going to hop over to that middle section and paint the middle section with this same nice icy tint. Now snowflakes, this is my final step. If you are doing this the same day that you just painted everything, you want to make sure that you try not to put the snowflakes into any wet area. Obviously, if you do this another day, then you don't have to worry about any wet paint. But if there is wet paint, you want to try to avoid those areas at first and let those dry a little bit. So I know that my blue background and my blue tree and probably down here is a little bit more dry. So I could do, the end of my paintbrush is my little snowflake applier, and really go slow, take my time, dot, dot, dot. I love the smaller snowflakes that happen with the opposite end of my paintbrush. And I'm going to continue for as many or a few snowflakes as I would like. You don't want to completely cover yours too much with snowflakes, but put on just enough to make you happy. Thanks for listening, guys.